AI in the news again. Lots of questions about legality in what it can and can't do in recreating people and things and art and media. Wikipedia said, hey, at least give us some money for our foundation if you're going to be scanning Wikipedia and using all of our information. You know, let me tell you this, David. The way Wikipedia works,
Yeah.
they've got their own community of curators that stitch all this stuff together, and
Yeah.
they're constantly arguing about what's accurate and what's not accurate. You should never use Wikipedia as a source for a term paper. You should use it to branch out right sources, but that's another story. So people are getting kind of upset that all these guys with AI, developing AI, are grabbing all this media, all this information, and not paying for it, and then they're turning around and making a buck off of it.
Yeah.
Joining us on 710 KURV, we welcome back to the program the patent professor, John RIZVI, joining us now. So, give us the breakdown of what's going on with Mr. McConaughey and Mr. CAINE, because they've signed some papers saying it's okay for the AI to do this now.
Yeah, so it's interesting because a lot of times you'll find these celebrities after the fact, they find their voice being used or their likeness by AI, and then they end up bringing lawsuits trying to collect. This is a situation where they're actually getting ahead of that. Matthew McConaughey's an investor in 11 Labs, and Michael Caine is not, but both of them have signed agreements assigning their rights to replicate their audio to this company, which means their voice can be used using artificially produced voice, and that's just massively expanding the amount of material that they have that they can produce. I mean, you basically now have AI bots that can run 24/7 year-round with Matthew McConaughey's voice because he signed rights to that away.
Has This has been kind of, the concept has been kind of contentious, right? Wasn't it Scarlett Johansson or somebody? I think it was her that was upset that the voice of, was it OpenAI? I can't remember. It's kind of fuzzy. And I think we talked about this with you, Professor, that it was too close in likeness to this one person, and
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
threatening to go to court about it.
Yes, and I mean, and in fact, there's been several cases since then. Like recently, there's a lawsuit. Paul Lehrman and Linnea Sage are suing this company, this AI startup, Lovo, alleging that they cloned their voices and used them commercially without their permission. So I think what's happening now is that you have these two celebrities, Matthew McConaughey and Michael Caine, who are saying we don't want to be in the position of having our voice used without our permission, and then after the fact trying to sue to either stop it or obtain damages. They're going to start making money from their voice from the get-go and basically license their rights so that every time it is used, they benefit financially and don't have to go forward and bring a lawsuit. So it's a situation where I think they're almost giving up, saying that AI is here to stay. It's not going away, and there's going to be uses of our voice. Unfortunately, we have limited options. We can file lawsuits and try to continuously collect or get ahead of this. The problem is, from their fan standpoint, they look like sellouts because recently there's in the news the AI actress completely. Gosh, I'm trying to remember her name. Does it ring the bell? Lori or Tori, completely AI produced actress has gotten signed agreements and is going ahead and is going to be in film, and that has actual real artists worried. And now this is even extending that fear because now if they don't get ahead and start utilizing their likeness and licensing it, who's to stop others from using their voice? And are they left with just bringing a bunch of lawsuits trying to collect on this, or do they get ahead, as Matthew McConaughey is doing, and invest in the technology and license the deals up front? And that's what the approach that he's taking.
Joining us on 710 KURV, an adjunct professor of patent law at Nova Southeastern Law School in Florida, is John RIZVI, the patent professor. David, your question. Go ahead.
Has the Supreme Court ruled on this? Is there any definitive interpretation of the way things stand?
Yeah, so the difficulty here is, I'm an intellectual property attorney, so patents, trademarks, copyrights. There's no protection. You don't have copyright protection for your voice. So you're limited in terms of, and you can't patent your voice. It's not a creation. It's a naturally occurring thing. At most, what you can do is if your voice becomes associated with goods or services, you can perhaps try to, and it's a stretch, get trademark protection. So the real causes of action that you have really relate to a right of publicity, which means a celebrity has a right to control how their likeness is being used. And their likeness includes everything about them, the way they look, the way they talk, their voice, in fact, even their mannerisms. So that's what they're left with. And there's no specific statutes, particularly federal statutes, protecting their likeness.
Should there be? It sounds like, I mean, John Wayne, or I'm trying to think of somebody who's got a voice, Darth Vader's voice. People shouldn't be able to make money off of that, and he doesn't get paid anything. Or
Yeah.
I just don't think that's fair. Is the law behind where it should be, in your view?
The law is racing to try and catch up. The problem is that technology just keeps improving, getting better, changing. So as soon as you have laws that are passed, there's, for example, the Take It Down Act, which was passed last May to stop pornographic type images that are AI produced. It's not even kicking in until May of 2026.
Good Lord. And
since the law was passed, and that's to give these technology companies a year for them to develop the technology, because the law requires that the material be taken down within 48 hours once it's brought to their attention. So to give companies time to prepare their technology to take these things down in 48 hours, they gave a 1-year time period. The problem is that technology is moving so quickly that the laws are becoming obsolete by the time they kick in. I think there's already several amendments that need to be made to the Take It Down Act already, and it hasn't even kicked in yet. It hasn't even taken off.
Well, they're going to be backed up once this thing finally
sounds like you got work.
It becomes active. Joining us on 710 KURV, the patent professor is John RIZVI, and we're talking about AI and all the legal implications over what it's been doing with media and actors and people's likenesses. And this was even the pivot point, the crux of another situation with the actors and the voice actors, where what was the deal? It was they were saying that a lot of these voice actors for your favorite cartoons or TV shows or video games or what have you, that it was implied that the rights were given to the studios to recreate any voices that they needed in the future.
Who implied
or
that?
Or maybe people that had been on set of some production, they could be used again as AI extras in other productions.
And that still remains to be tested in court, right? Would it be considered a derivative work? But the impact from the courts comes later on. The initial impact and the fear is that all of a sudden you have a massive amount of voice talent that is being replaced, because there's no way that they can compete with a robot that can work 24/7, not take breaks, not go on vacation, and continuously provide the voice talent automatically. So it's a one-time license to those like Matthew McConaughey. They're able to commercialize their voice and benefit from them without putting in the work. But there's thousands and thousands of voice talent specialists out there that are now competing, because if they're not known, then there's little benefit to them recording audiobooks. Think about that. All the voice talent that goes into recording audiobooks. Not everyone hires, celebrity recognizable voices, but now a bot can produce the same thing and sound realistic, and that's the economic impact is hitting immediately.
And one more thing, because I noticed this a while back, maybe a couple of weeks ago or so. People have been making AI videos, and I think you mentioned this, of deceased people, and it even got to Robin Williams. Robin Williams, people were making AI videos of Robin Williams doing Robin Williams things, and it got to Zelda Williams, his daughter, and she made it public. Hey guys, could you please not do this, and could you please not send them to me, because it's a big deal to me. I know you guys are fans and you miss him, right? But he was my dad. You know, I predict so many lawsuits, and you're right. They're trying to
Yeah.
catch up with us. And go ahead.
Well, some of these platforms, the technology platforms, allow that you have to contract, you have to agree for your likeness to be used. Sora is an example. The problem when somebody's deceased is they can't agree, they can't opt out. So their estate steps in, and it's not always about money, as you point out. Sometimes it's just about preserving the legacy and the reputation of the deceased, because as the technology improves, these things are so realistic looking. There's a Michael Jackson video, AI produced, and one of Marilyn Monroe that's virtually indistinguishable from actual video. And there's no way for people to tell, and their estates are worried that this is going to impact their legacy and their reputation in ways that they never had to worry about previously.
Davis, quickly, your question for the patent professor.
Let me be crass. If you have to litigate something like this, and I'm not talking about you, but if you have to hire this be specialty law, what can you expect to pay per hour to do anything about this?
Oh, so this is, practically, most hourly fees would be $500 to $750 an hour to litigate this. And the problem is, a lot of times the law is going to have to stretch through analogizing with other situations because there's simply no precedent. So it is kind of the Wild West out there in terms of what the courts are going to do, what kind of results you can expect. So there isn't that certainty. It's one thing to pay a lot for litigation if you have some idea of how it's going to end up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we saw with the lawsuit against the startup Lovo on alleging that they took the voice of Paul Laren and Linnea. The problem is the case isn't done yet, so nobody knows how it's going to end up, which is why there's this incentive for celebrities like Matthew McConaughey saying, I can either roll the dice in court, pay a lot of money, and not know if I'm going to eventually be able to stop or benefit or profit from the use of my voice, or I just get ahead of all of that and I license those rights to, in this case, the company 11 Labs, and I don't have to worry about litigating it because I'm making money from the use of my voice on the front end.
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot, Professor. Appreciate it. That's the patent professor, John RIZVI, joining us on News Talk 710 KURV.